Prime rib.
Thanks for having us over.
Wow, guys, smells amazing when you walk through the door. We're at Vinny and Caroline's house. Oh my guys, prime rib. Oh my God, yummy. We'll talk about that later. Hey everybody, excuse their appearance. It's been a long, busy day. We're actually a week of cooking and baking, staying up really late and getting up extremely early with 2 to 3, tops 4 hours of sleep in one of the nights. Long story short, I just wanted to discuss prime rib with you because usually a lot of people have prime rib for Christmas. I apologize. Anyway, long story short, I did a video about a year ago when I first started. It's only like a 2.5 minute video for prime rib. It's really bad, but I give you the ingredients and I give you the temperatures. So I'm going to link it to the bottom in here somewhere under descriptions. You got to find descriptions. It'll be linked in there, but I'll discuss it. And I don't know what's going on with my phone, but my S's sound funny. Anyway, back to the prime rib. I'll show you a few photos of the prime rib my son Vinny and his wife Caroline just made last night for dinner. We went over there, we had prime rib, and I'll show you my prime rib, a photo from last year when I made it from the video. It's a simple recipe. It's only extra virgin olive oil, salt and pepper, and you could use butter. The important thing is 2 things. You salt and pepper your meat the night before. It helps get that salt into your meat, and it helps dry out your meat. That's really important to do it 24 hours ahead of time. So if you're going to cook it Saturday, do this Friday, tomorrow, Christmas Eve. I'll get to the second thing. Now, I don't like a lot of funny stuff. I don't even make a horseradish sauce. I don't like any of that. Okay, I just want to taste. When you pay that kind of money, you just want to taste good beef, straight up beef, and that's it. Now, if you like horseradish sauce and all the other fun jazz, that's fine. And a lot of people do. So back to the second point. What was the second point, guys? Oh my God, I'm so tired and I apologize. Oh, temperature is one. Oh, yeah, temperature is another thing. Now, you could do reverse cooking. You start out low and you finish high. What's that? You cook it about 225 to the temperature you want. And you can Google temperatures of the meat. Okay, you could do that. And then when you get your desired temperature, now don't forget this hold over time. You take it out a couple of minutes, a few degrees less than what you want your meat at. Because don't forget, it's going to continue cooking on your counter. So you take out the meat, you let it rest 45 minutes to 1 hour. And all those juices are going to redistribute throughout your meat. Then, after that, you stick it back in the oven on high, 500 degrees. If you can't do 500 in your oven, for whatever reason, 450 at least. No lower. 450. And you do that for about 15 to 20 to 25 minutes, depending. And that's going to give you a perfectly cooked meat. And when you take out the meat from the oven, you don't have to let it rest because they're already rested. You just cut right into it. And like I said, we're just talking prime rib because I'm not going to do another video because it'll be too late to show that to you for Christmas. So I'm just going to show you some photos that my son had from last night and what I did. So this is why it's a little longer. And, you know, because this is all we're going to be doing. There's no recipe to show you. So to go back to the prime rib, what I like to do, and I've been doing this method for years and years, at least 30 years. I start out high and finish low. I start at 500 degrees for 30 minutes. Then I lower my oven to, you could do either 325. Some people do 350, 375, but 325 is okay. And I go down to, for me personally, I'd start at 5 and go down to 225. Some years I've done 5 and gone down to 325. My son last night started at 5 and went down to 325. And it's perfect. And like I said, Vinny did that method last night and it was just perfect. The 500, oh, I'm lying to you guys. I'm sorry. Vinny did 500, yeah, to 325 last night. And it was perfect. And when Vinny does his, he uses butter. So he'll salt and pepper it, but he uses butter. He'll smear it with butter. Not completely melted butter, but almost like really soft butter. Like if you left it out on a hot summer day and it gets really soft like that. Because you want it to have some kind of body when you stick it in the oven. And that's it. So those are your two methods. You got to do reverse cooking, low and finish high, with resting in between. Or you can start out high and finish slow, and then you rest when you're done. Again, 500 to 225 is just a perfect combination. 500 to 325 works too. Again, season your meat, salt and pepper before the night before. Take your, and I forgot to mention, so you're going to season the night before and take your meat out at least 2-3 hours before you're going to cook it. Even 4 hours. And no, it's not going to go bad on the counter. This is not chicken. I promise you, you need to, if you want a perfect prime rib, that's what you need to do. What else? Just trying to give you some tips, guys. We talked temperature. We talked time. It's up to you. I like mine rare to medium rare. Oh, I told you, I like for my guests. Oh, no, we didn't discuss this. This is another thing, poundage. I do, when it's just 4 people. Okay, let me tell you this way. I do 1 rib per person. And a rib usually is about 2 to 2¼ pounds. Now, you're not eating, that's not all meat. That's bone weight. And bones, people like to gnaw on a bone like a dog is. It's good. It's flavor. And fat is flavor too. Or if you want to cut it off the bone yourself, when the bones are on the bottom, you take a sharp knife and you lay it against the bone, with the blade facing in toward the meat. And you just follow the bone. Follow the bone. And you may have to go up a little bit and then back down, but you follow that bone. And then you're going to get a big chunk of meat that comes off that bone. And then you could cut the bones, you know, in between the bones and give a person a bone if they want to chew on it. But it's very tasty. I mean, it's just delicious. And then let's talk about cuts of meat real quick. Before we talk cuts of meat, when you cook your prime rib, it's bones down on the pan, in your roasting pan. The fat is on the upside, is on the top. The bones are on the bottom, fat's on the top. And when your meat cooks, all that fat is going to get nice and marbleized and juicy and melt right into your meat. And it's going to actually keep marinating your meat. I mean, it's going to make it one heck of a juicy and tasty prime rib. That I can promise you. So remember, bones are touching your pan and the fat is on top. And what else? Oh, the cut of meat. Now listen, each cow has 26 ribs, 13 on each side. You can divide, a butcher divides those one side, the 13 ribs, into 3 cuts. You have, I forget what numbers they are, 1 through 5, 1 through 7. I honestly, I forget. But you have your, so you've got, again, the second cut is your chuck. Your first cut, which is your leaner cut and more expensive cut, is your first cut, is your loin. And again, it's leaner and less fat. But it still has fat and it's still tasty. But I like the chuck cut too because it's so fat and so marbly. And I'm telling you, it just is so delicious. Now, there's a waste with that. But, I mean, the meat is just so juicy and tender and it melts in your mouth. Again, that chuck area with all that extra fat, it just does something to that meat, guys. And it just melts in your mouth. That meat's delicious. But again, some people prefer the first cut, the leaner cut, because it is still tasty, it's still juicy, and it still has fat in it. But a lot of people, and me including, think the chuck is a little bit tastier. That's your preference, guys. You know what I'm saying? To each their own on that one. So we discussed the position of the meat, the temperature of the meat, and a little bit of the cut of the meat. I just wish I knew that. I can't remember. I got to ask my mother about that. There's only 1 rib, and what that cut of meat is, I forget. So anyway, I'm going to send you some photos. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and Happy Birthday, Jesus.